Here we are. Let's learn, bro.
Retro Runners.
Let's learn. Nice little layout. All you fine individuals in chat are properly represented on the layout. And what we have here is on top, current world record. This is 1136.834. Corrected by the mod who verified it. I counted it mistakenly as 1136.833, so I was off by 1,000th of a second. But anyway, yeah. So that's there we go. That on top is the current world record. 1136 is actually, for everybody watching on YouTube or people who do not know, this is actually since we took the record back in September 29th, 2021, we improved that record once already, and this is the second improvement. So we have an 1137.83, then we had an 1137.73, and now we have this substantial improvement of 1136.83. So now there is over a second gap between first and second place. We're not talking about battle of the frames or a handful of frames here and there, 2/10 or 3/10 of a second. But I still think that most people who watch this current world record will be like, well, it looks good, but I don't really understand how it's faster. It seems to even have some mistakes in it or be slower in some respects than Arcus PB. We're gonna go over it, and it's not even a small deficit. It's pretty substantial, and you'll be able to plainly see why it's a world record. Before we even go into this, there are two things about this run that are really important to me. The first of which being, this has been a long time goal of mine to establish and prove that you can get a world record in this game without the so-called perfect pair, which is a what's called a plate kill on Jaquio, which is when you kill him in 1.5 cycles, and what's called the rich kill against the demon, which is to knock the demon head off in two jumps of slash cancels, and then to kill the heart, provided that its hitbox activates right away, because it doesn't always. It's not up to you. It's just basically pure RNG. And the shrimp that the demon hurls at you stay out of your way. If you're able to do that, you can kill the demon heart in 3 jumps and be done with that. So if you combine the plate kill and the rich kill, that's the perfect pair. So this run has a plate kill in it, but not a rich kill. The demon actually he clips us and knocks us back, completely knocks us back, and it is still a world record. I don't know. Looking back on it, I'm not even really sure why this got under my skin so much. I guess I just heard it, this myth being perpetuated a lot, that like to get a world record you needed to like acquire enough attempts to get like these lottery tickets, and maybe one of those by the devil's luck would give you a world record. And like I always knew that was never true. I think that it's still not true. I still don't think that you necessarily need a perfect pair to best this world record that we have right now. So I'm like really stoked that we were able to prove that. Also, there's no like rollback here. Basically what we have is my run, like I said, on top, the world record run, and Arcus's run, PB on the bottom. Starting on the same frame, which is when Ryu appears on the screen, completely on the same frame, first frame, and we play all the way through, synced up like that. So the second thing is, I was toying around. Most of the time when you see Ninja Gaiden runners play this game, there's this thing called a global timer, which is how the game decides what certain enemies are going to do, or they're going to troll you, or what we call hammer bros, who throw projectiles in an arc trajectory. Are they going to give you a hammer smashed face, or they're going to moonwalk out of your way? And the game decides that by having a global timer in the background that you can't actually see to counter that counts from 0 to 255 frames. And it just keeps on cycling back 0 to 255, back to 0, back to 255, so on. And when anytime an enemy is spawned, or you get to, let's say, the Act 3 boss, or certainly the demon, the game checks the number of the global timer, and that's how it decides what it's going to do. And up until now, the standard has been to reset the game and then mash the start button so that you get a very low global timer when you start the game. This will ensure that at least for the first 3 acts, all the Hammer Bros will be nice and docile and passive and not wreck your day. The problem with this setup, though, is you can actually acquire too much time. You can go too fast and receive what I like to call a speeding ticket, especially as early as the end of Act 4 or certainly the beginning of Act 5. One of those Hammer Bros, if you're going like lightning speed, world record paces and beyond, one of those Hammer Bros is going to give you a problem. You're going to have to improvise, or you might get knocked back. The Hammer Bro at the beginning of 5-1 might be what we call unmanipulable, which means you can't use him to damage boost, which is a time loss. And that was like a huge problem that I had, like a huge frustration. So I messed around with like a bunch of different start times at the beginning of the game to affect the global timer in a different way. We tried waiting an entire second. We tried waiting a second and a half, which is could be a viable setup actually. It'll give you what we call an aggro Basaquer every time, but Edo came up with a kill that is a quick kill that you can do with an aggro Basaquer. So we were trying that for a while. Wasn't really getting anywhere with that.
Follow me.
Crow, thanks for the follow, come on in. And I came through pure trial and error, lots of trial and error. I came up with waiting 3.6 seconds on the title screen. And what this does is, the only thing that it really does definitively is that it gives you a huge window to get to Basaquer and have him be passive and not shoot bullets from the left. A couple of the quick kills on that boss require him to be passive. So that's the only real definitive advantage. Although in my experience and testing, I found 2 other significant advantages, at least, again, in my experience. One is that it seems that it's possible with this setup to do what I like to call outrun the global timer, where instead of going too fast and getting like a speeding ticket, knocked back by a Hammer Bro or trolled some other way, you can go fast enough that that becomes a non-issue and that won't happen. And the other thing is, through my experience and tests, I found that on these like very fast world record paces, we're talking like 2 seconds, 3 seconds ahead of world record pace to the demon, that a lot of them were rich killable or just plain nicer demons, easier to deal with demons. Not all of them were perfect, but almost all the time I got to the demon in that window, it would be a pretty favorable demon, as opposed to the reset mash method, getting to the demon at plus 2 seconds ahead or more. I would often get a very violent demon, a very aggro demon. I've been informed by Pensive Moose and Black Squall, 2 other amazing Ninja Gaiden runners who like mapped out what the demon does frame by frame as you enter the boss room. So you enter the boss room this frame, demon does this. Enter the boss room the next frame, demon does that. They did that with the whole global timer. They said it can be pretty random. You can get to the demon at almost the same pace and actuate, mash through the cutscene a frame earlier or later and get a completely different demon. But at least in my experience, I found that I've got a lot nicer demons with this setup. So 2 awesome things. No perfect pair. It's proven, and not just by a handful of frames, a significant amount. You can get a world record without a perfect pair. So let's just put that to bed forever. And the other thing is, this is the only run on the Ninja Gaiden leaderboards that utilizes the 3.6 second hesitation at the title screen. So, with that out of the way, are there any questions? That was a mouthful. But if you get a spicy world record with a perfect pair, then you have to get a PP. I don't, like I said, I don't think we're quite there yet, but it's definitely gonna be harder to personal best without a perfect pair. I think that I'm pretty sure that's still possible. All right, enough. We're gonna start the thing. We're going to compare the runs frame by frame, so that there's no questions about why this is faster. Starting on the first frame, here we go. Let me turn the volume down a little bit. I suppose in the future, if we really wanted it to be, there's really nothing very noteworthy in Act 1. It's just, this is the route, and this is what you do. And we're gonna end up pretty much, you know, in sync with each other. During stage 5, how do you get that 2-second lead on stage 5? That was because we had a really janky last screen on our PB on our previous PB in stage 5, and we just didn't fuck up. What is this? Have you tried rolling? What about rolling? Nothing too crazy in this act either. Let's see how the climbs are. This ladder is really hard to climb. It seems that my climb was a little faster. God, I'm so annoying. The shit that I say is so annoying. I want to just like turn the volume off almost completely. Tempted to do that. Loco, this run happened yesterday, 3:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday. What up, Jimmy Woods? Thanks for the congrats. Alright, let's check this 2-2 out. Everybody always remarks the difference in the swag star attack there. It's not slower even a little bit. Has the free fall. Both have a really like similar free fall. Not perfect. Not the frame perfect free fall where you just fall straight from one screen to the next. And the same side column climb right there is giving us a little bit more of a lead. This early game is unusually fast for me. I'd say that in general, Arcus is probably better at establishing these like really fast early game paces. Me being annoying again. So I'll probably let Act 3 play out and then I'll pause it and see what's up with chat. This screen, no difference. This is the route. You either do it or you don't. The annoying song. Disarm the gun, jump and slash, and we go bouncy bouncy. Let's see. 3-2, also like really similar. We both get the double bird boost. We both go for it and both get it. This is a redemption called Demon Says What? I got like, there's a significant lead here, palpable lead, but it gets destroyed because this Basaquer fight is not good. It's not even a standard kill. We go for the quicker kill. We start to get it. We flame like really early though. The second flame is really early, or perhaps late, I think. And we have to go for a backup, which is way slower than even the standard kill. And Arcus gets his sick quick kill. Sick, and he's ahead right now. He is ahead right now. So yeah, we're at the end of Act 3, and Arcus is ahead by I'd say an entire second maybe. Again, because I totally beefed the Basaquer kill. Yeah, the bottom Big Nate Duke is Arcus's current PB, which was the world record for quite a while. 3 years, and I think even 2 years before that, he still had the world record with slower runs, but he was the one. So yeah, we're heading into Act 4, similar paces, but since I beefed the Basaquer kill, Arcus is like visibly significantly ahead. That kill is so sick. I'm still not very good at it. That quick kill. It's really hard to get that third flame up there. Lane Rainer's asking me about the quicker kill, which is what we usually go for, which is just a hair faster than the quick kill, as the name would imply it is quicker than the quick kill. So I'm like talking, I'm giving him advice on how to do it. Let's check this climb. This is probably one of the things I'm most proud of in this run. This long ladder climb, you could do it faster. I could do it maybe faster, but by, I don't know, like a couple frames. That's how I do it. That is as fast as I can do it. Let's check it out in like slow-mo, because I know I'm behind, but I managed to catch up just with climbs, which is pretty fun. We'll do it frame by frame. So Arcus almost at the top already, but can you see how I'm close? Like my climbs are closing in a little bit. I'm still behind a lot, but let's count them. Let's count these climbs. Let's be super annoying and meticulous. How many climbs does Mr. Arcus get? He gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I believe I get 9 or possibly 10 of these quick climbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. That's as many as I can shoehorn into a long ladder. It's pretty much a perfect ladder as far as my abilities are concerned. Nothing really too crazy here. Like, I'm a little distracted. I'm talking to Lane, and it's a weird set of hammer bros. I should have spun through them, but instead I boost up there, which is just maybe 2/10 loss, or maybe less than that. It's not very significant, but as I'm already behind, it's not like a great thing to happen. Pretty similar 4-3s. Our climbs are good. The only difference is Arcus likes to do 3 cancels, sword cancels in the stage, so that he can preserve enough Nimpo to kind of take the last hammer bro of the stage out of the equation and just spin through him, which is a really good thing to do. Also, Arcus, his cancels are very fast, so it's not a significant loss to do that. Totally good option, but I do not. Not that it doesn't make any real difference in terms of the difference in our paces. You can see Arcus gets to the door a little before me. That entire second, though, that he was ahead is now closing. And in Act 5, you will see it completely overtaken, and it will stay there for the rest of the run. Pretty crazy. Arcus grind this game for so long when tried to take the world record. Thoughts, guys, guts. Well, here's something about speedrunning, Loco. It's a very cool thing. You know, like Arcus, obviously, like longtime classic GOAT of Ninja Gaiden, duh. But when you speedrun, you're always running against the best of yourself. That's literally what it is, a personal best, and you have to beat your personal best. So, like, in that way, it was always kind of separate from him. I wasn't looking at being faster than him. I was looking at being faster than myself. And once I realized that, like, yeah, we totally can be faster than ourselves, you know, I was like, yeah, we can do this thing. It's not gonna be easy, but we can take world record. And as I'm playing the game even more, I was like, yes, we can improve the record and possibly even more than it is right now. I think it's gonna get real crazy. Maybe Arcus will improve the record back. You know, I don't know. I think it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun for everyone. How many degrees of kills are there for Basaquer? So you have the standard kill, which is the way Basaquer fights you is he's all the way on the right side of the screen. He jumps to the left. He jumps to the right. He jumps back to the left. Very boring. There it is. That's what he does. The standard kill is he jumps from right to left. He jumps from left to right. He jumps from right to left, and before he lands on the left side, you kill him. That's the standard kill. Kind of a misleading term because it's pretty difficult to do. And then there are a couple of quick kills that are a bit faster than the standard kill by about 0.3 of a second. One is just called the quick kill. You need a passive Basaquer pattern to do that. You cannot fire bullets from the left. It's really difficult to do. If you watch Arcus grind the game, that's the kill that has most experience with and is most comfortable with, so that's what he goes for. It's ridiculous, really difficult. Edo is a runner who came up with a really interesting kill. It's not faster than the quick kill. It is actually just as fast, which makes it faster than the standard kill. But the cool thing about it is that unlike the regular quick kill, you can perform it with both the passive Basaquer pattern and the pattern where he jumps from right to left and fires bullets from the left immediately. You can do it with both those patterns, which is like really cool. And then there's the quicker kill, which is what we're going for, and I failed in this run. It's only faster than the quick kill by maybe 0.2 of a second, but I find it and it's not free or easy at all, but it's totally way easier for me than the quick kill or even the Edo kill, especially if you get the aggro pattern from Basaquer. There's also something called the quickest kill, but it hasn't been performed by anybody. It's just theoretically possible. Stuck in a plate found that it's possible for a human. Darbian, holy shit, I know who you are. Thank you for the congrats. You know who Darbian is? Talk about OG goats. Darbian is an OG goat. Thank you so much. Yeah, it depends, Twin. You can actually quick climb over the loading zone for the next screen. So ideally you want to quick climb like to the pixel of Ryu attaching to the ladder and then moving up is a little faster than climbing over the loading zone. We're going to continue with the rest of the comparison because this is when it gets pretty interesting. As I sip my coffee. So first difference, we get what's called the manip, where you pause and cause this hammer row to dip down and boost off of him. Except my hammer row is not where he should be, and he boosts me backwards instead of forwards. Not a huge deal, but also not optimal. This little ham climb is a little bit faster than Arcus's flip flop. Gets us a little closer to him. Definitely within striking distance. And then this is probably the biggest mistake in Arcus's run. He has a little kerfuffle with the second bird boost, which gives us the lead, and we do not concede the lead at all. We just we never lose the lead from now on. Almost exactly the same 5-2s, very similar. I think Arcus might have snuck in a couple more quick climbs than I did in general. But this screen is like, I modeled the screen after the way Arcus does it. The only difference is I do the spin slash tech, where you slash the bird and the hammer bro, provided that he's close enough. It's just safer, and it's not even a little bit slower than the slash cancel boost, which costs 3 health from the bird. Pretty good climb. Here's a pretty big error from me. Okay, let's slow down. It's moving fast. Obviously, I'm on pace and I'm a little nervous. So one thing that you can do, here's tip from me to anybody who wants to run the game, is to, a lot of people will ask me or be like, wow, how did you know that a hammer bro might do this or that? And the short answer is experience. But in this particular scenario, if you have a screen that has two hammer bros on it, especially if they're pretty close together, and the first hammer bro is like waterfalling hammers at you, there's a pretty fucking good chance that the second hammer bro is also not going to be nice to you. Might not be the same, but there's a pretty good chance that at least that hammer bro is almost always going to chuck hammers. They might not hit you, they may be out of your way, but they have a pretty good chance of hitting you. So if we take it back, I'm getting really nervous anyway, but I see that this hammer bro, this first one, is extremely aggro. He's like waterfalling hammers at me, so much so that I need to use an extra spin on him just to make sure that I don't get knocked back. I even have to pause a little bit to make sure that this works without me getting knocked back. Right here, I see this. 1, 2. He's chucked almost 3 hammers. You see, I had to stutter there, and normally 1 spin slash for this area to take out the hammer bro and the rocket ninja. But there's so much shit going on that we got to do 2 spins to get through. And I'm like really nervous. I'm like, oh shit, well that means this next hammer bro is gonna be throwing wild hammers. And he kind of does throw hammers. There's one, which I'm nervous about him hitting me. And he throws that hammer specifically, which I'm like, oh, I'm cringing inside. I'm like, oh, it's gonna hit me, it's gonna hurt. But while I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna hurt, I'm not focusing on my quick climb, and I do like a really shitty quick climb. It costs us almost an entire second. Between 7 and 8/10 of a second happens right here. Oh, and then we dip all the way down. You see that? Let's see that in reverse. So this hammer, I'm sure, is gonna hit me. Oh, scared, and I fuck it up pretty bad. But we're still ahead by a noticeable margin.
Oh, terrible!
Shitty climb, not quite an entire second though. Let's get the SP boost, the Sex Panther boost. Problem. Some pretty good climbs there. Hammer Bros tries to troll me. We see it, we read it, we spin through it. It does mean that we need to cancel this swordsman on top to make sure we have enough Ninpo to spin mouth. We're still ahead by almost an entire second. And I guess pretty accurately that we're going to be 1.8 seconds ahead. At the time, at the end of 5-2, we were like 2.6 seconds ahead. So yeah, that's the 0.8 time loss, and we're actually dead on with that. And that's Act 5. That is Act 5. The 3 spin strat there. Yeah, you need enough Ninpo to do that too, though. It's like I do the spin slash lane, the sword cancel in 5-1 instead of the swag star, which is the swag star is totally safer. But since they're the same, I like to take the extra Ninpo just for that very scenario, just in case we need to do some janky shit like that. But you're right. Yeah, if you do 3 spins there, nothing will happen. But you need the Ninpo to do that. And if you start running out of Ninpo, you gotta like start canceling weird enemies like the Gremlin on the 3rd screen of 5-3. Certainly, the last Hammer Bro. The last Swordsman. The second to last screen in 5-3. Also, again, the Hammer Bro trolled us right on the 3rd to last screen. He tried. We had to spin through it. So, like, all of these things you need to account for, and you need to have the ammo for. Yeah, but you might have missed it, Pensive Moose. We are on completely different sides of the global timer, even though we're not very far apart, less than a second at this point. But I did the wait 3.6 seconds on the title screen, and Arcus did the standard reset mash for a very low global timer, and that's why our global timers are so different. No, well, Lick, the demon's not perfect, so it's not as tight as other Act 6 that we've had. All right, we're gonna continue with Act 6, and we're still ahead, and we don't lose any of our lead. We just keep on expanding it until the demon, where Arcus gets a rich kill and we get knocked back, but we're so far ahead that it doesn't matter. On the last time I did this analysis, I erroneously said that there was nothing to really note here, because basically if you do the screen correctly, you just walk from right to left and nothing happens. I did forget, though, that Arcus has a lot of experience with the global timer, so he knows that the first Hammer Bro on the next screen has a really good shot of trolling him. So he actually stops for about, I don't know, 0.2 of a second, and you'll see it. You'll see it right here. Pause. I wonder how many frames that is. Let's get real geeky about it. How many frames did Arcus stop for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A little less, 10 frames, a little less than. It'll be a 1/6 of a second. I'm bad at math. But that's why he does that, to affect his Hammer Bro on the next screen. Which is good for us, because we do not do that, and we expand on our lead. Arcus likes the throw the swag star to get rid of the bat tech, which is totally fine, even for a world record, but it does keep in mind that it does cost about between 1/10 or 0.2 of a second to throw a sub weapon on the floor. I'm gonna guess 0.2 at least. Let's check the long ladder. This is also a very good climb. I do believe that there is one climb that is technically a time loss, but it's still pretty close to as fast as I can do it. And I'm happy that we were able to get something at least like it in a finished product. So let's count the quick climbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But keep in mind that on the 8th one, it was shitty. So that's what the 11th one was about. It's basically to replace the 8th climb. Almost another perfect 10 for the long ladder. And then we gotta go for it. We gotta go for Eggs Benny. What's Eggs Benny? I get asked this all the time. Eggs Benny is really, it's the EB boost or the exit boost. It used to have another name that included the name of a runner who has been banished to the Chader Phantom Zone because he was a splicing Chader, confirmed. But it got changed to the exit boost or the EB boost. Since Arcus talks a lot about food on his channel, he started calling the EB boost Eggs Benedict boost or the Eggs Benny boost. What's the Eggs Benny boost? So normally what you could do here is we take a look at the bottom screen, Arcus's PB. You can do a couple things. Actually, another thing that gives us even more of a lead is he not only does he not do the Eggs Benny boost, he does a very safe Gremlin boost, which it could be a good idea if you have the health to spend. It negates the RNG of the moonwalking Hammer Bro, which can be problematic. Where you just let the bird like fly through you, you get boosted forward, you standing slash the Hammer Bro, and you boost off of the Gremlin. That is one thing that you can do. It's a very safe approach that'll probably work every single time. But what we've been doing, implementing in runs, is again the Eggs Benny boost. This is where, if you notice, Arcus spun through that first gremlin on that green column, right, meow. You see this guy? This guy right here on the bottom. He doesn't always spawn far enough on the right for you to be able to jump over him without getting knocked back or spin slashing through him. So it's a bit of a gamble to go for this Eggs Benny boost, but he spins here and he gets knocked by the bird there, standing flash the hammer bro, get boosted by the gremlin. We go for, this is the third time we've gotten in a PB in the world record, the Eggs Benny boost, where you hop, you jump over the first gremlin. That's the first RNG gamble. The second RNG gamble is the hammer bro. He can be moonwalking so far to the right that you'd never even have a chance to hit him, or he can also throw like a hammer bro and knock you back. He can throw a hammer at you and knock you back. And then a third element of RNG is what the gremlin actually does when he gets to you. He can jump later, like he did here, which is really easy to read. If that happens, it's pretty obvious when it happens. He can jump a little earlier, which in that case, he jumps like before the second candle. He jumps like before this second candle. Right here, you see these two candles? He jumps before this second one, like directly. And then in that case, you have to wait for him to complete an entire jump and then jump to meet his second jump. It's very difficult to read. And then there's a third thing he can do called Eggs Benedict Arnold, which is an unwinnable pattern. This is sort of like a gray area between the gremlin jumping early and late. And if you meet that boost, it's very difficult to read in real time, but if you meet that boost, it will kill you 100% of the time. It will send you into the pit. You won't get on top of the platform, and that'll be the end of your run. But fortunately for us, this was like really easy for us to read. This entire screen was like super safe and easy for us to read. The gremlin spawned way to the right, so I knew right away, like, yeah, we're going to be able to jump over him. He's not going to knock us back. We're not going to have to spin through him, and he's going to... and then he jumped late, which is, again, the easier pattern to read. So we'll go through it slow, and then we'll go through it again at full speed. Let's get a little closer, like right here. Go for a frame. So the gremlin approaches way to the right, have all the time in the world to jump over him, spin the swordsman, spin this ninpo, and you have to kill that hammer bro, and without stopping, boost off the gremlin and through. And it's a pretty good save. It's about, like, I don't know, half a second, maybe a little less than half a second, but it's a pretty good save if you can get it. We're up hollandaise sauce. We got the hollandaise sauce and the poached egg. A nice plate of eggs. So you can't see the splits, but we're 2 seconds ahead right now. Nothing like too noteworthy here. There is one minor thing that I would like to point out here on this ladder. It's very minuscule and very nerdy to point out, but you can actually save time. Not on this screen. We see on this next screen. Okay, this screen. You can save. Most people, almost every runner that I've seen, does 2 quick climbs there. Tap, tap. You can actually save time if you're very precise by inserting a 3rd quick climb, and we're able to do that. 1, 2, 3, and off. Actually, we could have dismounted even earlier if we wanted to. Saved even more time. So that's something that increases early just a little bit. Arcus is just going for the standard route, you know, of 2 quick climbs on this ladder. Again, this is like crazy minutia, you know. This is not very important. 1, 2, and then off. Or does he just get 1? Let's see. 1. Just 1. So it's an even more substantial save for us, increasing our lead even further. Bird boost, the same on both screens. I do it as well. He does it, no difference. Alright, and here, this is important. So this boost, not really much of a thing at all when Arcus, at the time Arcus got his PB. He's going for it now, and he gets it like every time. So it's a matter of time before he gets it in a new PB. But the Beerfullofbelly boost. So we'll just look on the bottom. This is the standard way to do it. It's super easy. You just, if you look on the bottom screen, Arcus' screen, you just spin through the candle, which is a stop time, very convenient. It stops all those gremlins from raining on us. And then you spin through this, or okay, so you have 0. Does he cancel? Yeah, you cancel that. You do some series of flip-flops. You cancel this guy to get the 15 info that you need, and you go through, which is totally fine. I'm sure you could get a world record with that tech. But Beerfullofbelly found this is a strat that has apparently been around for quite a while in the low percent category, which prohibits you from using anything, any sub weapons or health increase, or even a stop time. So in low percent, you're forced to do this to complete the route. But since it's faster, BFob was like, well, why don't we just use this in any percent? Which is an excellent point. So now it's become a standard in the any percent route as well. What we do is we stutter step right underneath the candle, this candle, which allows a second gremlin that is very fast to follow us, and we boost off of the gremlin without stopping. It looks like this. We stop underneath the candle. I want to see how long is that stutter step for? Didn't seem very long at all. One frame. Wow. So as little as one, if you stop for even 1 frame, this boost will work, which I didn't even know. We used to buffer that. We used to let the second gremlin catch up to us by buffering that period of time with a standing slash, which totally also works completely, but it makes meeting the gremlin for the boost a lot more tight. It's a lot more difficult, and if you're on pace and already pissing your pants, it's kind of makes it difficult to go for. This is way easier, as you can see, even if you stop for just 1 frame, which I think if you asked me to stop for 1 frame right now, I might not be able to. 1 frame. You see this second gremlin, who for some reason is like on crack or something. He follows us. We cancel the ninpo. We position ourselves right underneath the column, and we jump straight up to meet the gremlin. That is the fast Beerfullofbelly boost, which significantly increases our already significant lead. So these are actually these are the things that establish such a significant world record. There is a minor thing. We both get what's called the plate kill, which is killing Jaquio in 1.5 cycles. Mine is slightly faster because I didn't whiff any shots. Didn't whiff any sword cancels. And actually, you can do a 1.5 cycle even faster than that. It is possible to get 3 approach hits. Who are approach hits? Approach hits are when, as Jaquio is approaching you, you hit him twice, but you can actually hit him 3 times. It's possible to do that. And if some mad lad out there could hit Jaquio in the air 5 times, like let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someone could do that, and someone can. His name's Lane Rayner. But if someone could do that in a run, that is a 1 cycle, which is 50 frames faster than this 1.5 cycle business. Very crazy shit. But 2 approach hits and all jumps of 4, no shots missed. He's coming back from the right side. 2 health remaining. And if you look on Arcus's screen, he will have 4 health, I believe. Yes. Yes. Still incredibly fast. Ridiculously high tier game level play. We're just a little faster and we're already so far ahead. The only difference moving forward from the run is the demon that Arcus had. He gets the rich kill and we get knocked back by the demon. I think what happened really is that we jumped a little bit early. We were able to get 2 jumps. We call jump roping the tail. We get knocked back by actually the tail on the 3rd jump because we jumped a little bit early. I don't know, a couple frames. It might have been a rich killable demon. It seems that the heart, it did take some time to light up. It didn't light up right away. But it by a superior masher, a faster masher, probably could have made that into a rich kill. But we have such a lead by now that it doesn't even matter. Which, oh, I can't tell you how good that feels to prove. It's like the tail that knocks us back. Let's go through it in painstaking detail after we knock down the head. Let's see what happens. So iframes are carrying us to the tail. We got hit by the head, so iframes are preventing shrimp from hitting us. Iframes. The tail, actually I think it was a little late that I jumped, perhaps. I don't know. But we're able to jump once. First slash does not hit because it's not active. Second slash does not hit because it's the heart's still not lit up. Hitbox still not active. 3. The 3rd one hits. So we get 1, 2, 3 hits on that volley, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it seems that heart took quite a bit to light up, and if it lit up even a little faster, that definitely would have been a rich kill for us, without getting knocked back by the tail, but you'll see. 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, get knocked back by the tail? Yeah. Yeah. Definitive, the tail, not the shrimp. So, could have been. And that's that. And Arcus does get the rich kill, which is always hype and extremely impressive. Not only to get the, you could argue like, oh, rich kill, it's lucky to get a rich kill, but you have to show the fuck up and do the thing, especially on pace. It's incredibly difficult. I can't stress that enough. And he does. Which catches him up a bit, but not enough. And it is significant. It is significant, so let's see. There's our end frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 37 frames. This game runs at 30 frames a second, so it's just over a second. And that is all she wrote. That is all she wrote. That is why this run is faster. I hope you learn. We're here to educate, not segregate. And I hope that explains things if you're this interested. Also, from henceforth, if someone comes in stream and says, which has happened in the past, I don't really see how your run is faster, I don't understand why, we'll just point them to this video, and if they want to check it out, they can. We'll like chapter it out so they can skip the parts that they're interested in or don't understand, and that is as much as I can do. Let's go back here and catch up with chat. Yeah, stuttering is the move. It makes it way easier to go for the fast Beerfullofbelly. Like, I feel like most runners could get it. Like, pretty easily. Not easily, but pretty realistically. Oh yeah, all these minor adjustments, you know, they add up. That's speedrunning, for sure. Also, again, Eggs Benny boost, huge. Bit of a gamble to go for, but I find more times than not, I'm able to get it. So we're just going for it every time. Yeah, you did mention that the climbs, since the climb's not so great on the first world record that we set. There's some obvious like parts where we fucked them up. That first long ladder is great in 4-1. That's like probably the thing I'm most proud of in the run is that long ladder climb is really good. Like I said, I don't think I can do it much faster. Even the 6-2 long ladder climb is really good. There's literally one quick climb that is a quote-unquote time loss, but the rest of the climbs are so good that it so outweighs that one little loss. It's definitely a significant time save, and I'm proud to be able to showcase that. Are you gonna keep grinding Ninja Gaiden, or the games are on your list? Tough, because this is a hard run for me to go out on. Again, the Basaquer fight, not that good looking. Would like to get a run that looks cleaner and have that be kind of my legacy before I retire. I will try to improve this record. It's not gonna be easy. Not that this one was easy to do, or the previous two by any means, but we're gonna have to be a lot more strict on the paces that we end up playing, and it's not gonna be easy. But I will try, because I do actually believe that for shit sure 1135 is possible, for shit sure. But I'm also pretty sure that 1134 is possible. I used to be like on the fence about whether or not that's possible. I actually completely believe that at least 1134 is possible. So we're gonna keep playing. Your time. What was your first speed run of this game? Oh, like ever? I don't know. My first goals were like super humble. Like I just wanted to be able to consistently beat the game, and then I was like, well. Maybe, you know, we can make sure that we beat it under an hour. And then I was like, well, it's kind of hard to present to your friends an hour-long playthrough of Ninja Gaiden. How about 20 minutes? And then 15 minutes. And then that's just how speedrunning works. You know, you just keep on getting addicted to these PBs. Like, I totally got addicted. Didn't know about the first gremlin spawn. Interesting that it was just the jumps at the end. What, for Eggs Benny? Yeah, no, it's all about that first gremlin. You gotta hop over it, or unless you mean Eggs Benny, Beerfullofbelly Boost. I have a save state that I don't need to stop, and I don't know how it happened. We call that one, Joker, the Midnight Gremlin. I don't know why we call that one the Midnight Gremlin, or even how it works. But in the midnight hour, every once in a blue moon, you don't need to do shit for that second gremlin to catch up with you and boost off of them, which is impossible to know in real time. That is impossible to read, and particularly if you intend to go for what's called the standard Beerfull, which is a little bit slower, where you don't stop. But if you don't stop, that second gremlin is supposed to fuck off completely, unless you do something to let him catch up with you a little bit. But generally, if you go for the standard Beerfull, you're just going all the way straight. You don't stop until you get underneath that column, and you do have to wait for the first gremlin to like prance along and catch up with you, and you can boost off of him, which is still faster than flip-flopping up. But if you're going for the standard Beerfull of Belly Boost and you get the Midnight Gremlin, you're not going to be ready for it. You're going to be timing your boost, anticipating that first gremlin to prance his way up to you. But that second gremlin's like, yo, fuck your pace.
Be one of us.
When you decided you wanted to get world record was first PB at the time. It was never like a thing where I was like, oh, I'm going for it. The first significant thing that happened was like, you got to remember, for a long time, not only did Arcus have the world record, but he was untouchable. No one was even fucking close. The closest run that even like the second place time on the leaderboard for a while, and it was the closest one to him, was still 11:44, which is still 6 seconds away. So like he was like in the clouds, untouchable. And my goal at the time was just to get a second place run, maybe edge out that 11:44 with 11:43, barely 42. We ended up getting 11:40. It was really close to sub 11:40 as well. So after that, I almost jokingly put in the title of my streams world record attempts, but it was basically just a goof, you know, like a kind of a meme. After that, the 11:40, I started putting that in my titles, like almost as a joke, world record attempts. But then we got like 11:39, and from that run, I was like, oh, yeah, this is definitely possible. This is absolutely possible. And probably, yeah, I guess once we hit 11:39, I knew it was something that we could do. So we did it. This is the end of this little Teach and Teddy moment where we learn it out together.